is about to get started. It is going to be on a map that I have had interesting times on. We'll see how these guys want to play it out.
Interesting cannons on, do you mean?
Interesting cannon rushes on this map. That is how I have been rolling on Yeonsu. Place your bets in the chat. We currently have the score currently sitting at, well, it's just a +1 for our blue Zerg player up at the top right hand side of Yeonsu. He did a wonderful job of just adapting to how his opponent was producing things and got a lot of Hydras out, a lot of Roaches, and just marched across the map. It is curious.
In the bottom left of the map, currently Teemus, but he's doing pretty well in this tournament so far. He is San.
And it looks, for the first time, we are going to get a Forge Fast Expander, or at least a Nexus Forge. He did, yeah. I was just looking. I was like, where the pylon? It's really weird to wall this one off, just because it can be. Hang on, is it this one or is it Frost that I hate walling off, or is it both?
This one doesn't look too hard.
No, it's actually, yeah, it's this one. It can be a little bit odd sometimes. There's a few different ways to do it. Like some people will. They'll actually set up their wall in this direction and then have their cannon down here. It's really weird. I don't know. There's a couple of different ways that I've seen people do it, but nonetheless, it is a
curious
odd map for that kind of thing. Curious, going for very early pull. What's going to happen here, Fenner?
Yeah, I think he was looking to find San just not scouting again, but San mixing it up. This is a great thing for Protoss to do. And it's what I really wanted him to do after seeing the last couple of games just going for the Gateway Expand blind. You do need to mix the scouting every now and then, and mixing it in is just really nice to see. He's not going to take damage from this temple now. Curious still going to build the lings. Sometimes when people get this scouted, they just build up one ling or two and then go straight back to droning, but it looks like Curious wants to just go straight to lings. He hasn't actually scouted anything yet with his Overlord, so that's probably why, but just 6 lings going to come out and then he's going to start droning again, so no heavy committal from Curious, and that's going to allow him to just put a bit of pressure on, force the building wall off a bit quicker, and then he can go back to droning. He won't be too far behind.
Yeah, not too much of a hassle here for San. One thing which we do want to point out about this particular map is that the rush distance is actually relatively short compared to some of the other maps. I think I'm pretty sure it's just a few seconds shorter than most of the other maps in the ladder pools. So it makes things a little bit interesting. But the cannon, is it going to complete in time? Will San be able to block off those lings? But they get inside, and this is something which can be quite pesky to deal with.
Oh, you can hit the Nexus.
Yeah, you can hit that, and this is part of the problem with walling this map off.
Yeah, maybe wanted that cannon just one space backwards, and it probably would have been able to hit them, but now he's going to have a really hard time dealing with this. The gateway is going to be a long time off. What does he do? Is he build another cannon?
He's going to have to cancel
you can't build another cannon, so it's going to be a long time before he gets the Nexus up, and now his economy is going to be really far behind. I think Curious takes the win from this. I think he definitely, even though he put some investment into that, I think he comes out on top.
I would like to maybe see a cannon go down on the right-hand side so that it covers the rocks as well, just as a backup sort of thing. But I think what he's going to do here is, yeah, he's just going to wait for the gateway to finish up, chrono out a Zealot as quickly as possible. Of course, we have no Mothership core because of the Forge Fast Expand, and you know, this just puts Curious in such a good spot right now. He's free to pick up his third base, as we can see. But you know, let's not count San out, because I mean, up against Pig, when Pig went for the hatchery block, we sort of thought, you know, Pig's in a wonderful position right now, but San, he sort of brought the fight back to his opponent, so we'll see if something similar to that comes about from our Protoss player here, as his first Zealot now comes out, but the lings are on hold position there, taking a quick shot. Nexus will go down, and things will sort of slowly try and get back to normal, but it is going to be a little bit tough for San to sort of get himself back into a good position.
Oh, he's going to get the Zealot! Nice play by Micro. Now he's going to start working on that Nexus again, but the probe should be able to pick up those low HP links. In fact, no, great control by Curious. Is he going to get the Nexus again? There is a Stalker coming out. These links probably not going to do enough DPS to get it down before the Stalker does come out, but this is just so painful for San. This Nexus is, what, 4 minutes late now?
Oh yeah.
That's so late.
It's kind of like I would probably expect him to do that similar kind of thing that we saw in his game against Pig. He needs to like, he needs to make a move. He needs to come back across, maybe throw down his, invest some chrono into his warp gate tech or something like that, just to be able to get some units out on the map faster. But I mean, you know, he's building a sentry now. We'll see what he's going to do. This first stalker is now on the way across, but decides to come home, as San is in a very difficult spot right now.
So San, he knows he's in a pretty bad spot. He's just going to get greedy.
Yeah,
I mean, this. He's taking a risk. He's got to take a risk. I think definitely got to take a risk. I was going to say he might go for something like a 7 gate just to try and catch Curious off guard, but he's going for the macro risk.
Yeah,
he's going to pick up that super fast third base. Curious is going to be a long time off getting any kind of pressure because he did pick up his gas pretty late. As you can see, he's only just starting speed now, so is Curious going to see it? He should see it. He sees that probe go down there, so he probably knows this is happening. But what we saw last game is that Curious, oh my god, the Lings are coming. He's not going to get the rocks down in time.
Cannon's going to be forced to cancel. The Mothership Core should protect the Nexus, won't protect the Pylon though. But that is really annoying there for San. The troubles continue here for our Protoss player. Looks as if Curious is going to continue to try and come through and take down the probes and the pylons and try and set up some of the defense at this base. But I mean, San has just struggle after struggle to try and keep himself in this game. And I mean, it perfectly said, like you were talking about taking a risk, and I mean, in any sort of situation where you suffer a lot of damage at the start of the game and you're put in a really tough spot, you have to take a risk. Do I go for an economic risk, or do I go for sort of like a military kind of risk where I'm going to build up a bunch of gates, or I'm going to go for some heavy tech and try and catch my opponent off guard? And you know, I'm always a fan of the economic risk right here, but we'll see how it pays off, because as you said, speed is just about to finish up. 13 roaches are on the way, and this could turn into a very, very ugly situation here for San.
Yeah, Curious looking to pressure this hard. He's only at 48 drones right now, so generally you would get more drones than this before building units, but Curious sees an opportunity. He's going to try and seize the moment. We'll probably see drones coming out after these rest of these Lings to fill up those gases. Yeah, there we go, 3 more drones. So these are the units that he's going to use to pressure. How many units has he got? He's got 13 roaches and 34 Lings. And there is a cannon down here, a couple of sentries. He's going to need some great force fields if he wants to hold this. He has got the Nexus cannon as well. Let's see what San can do to hold this. Ling's working on the pylon right now, moving around to work on that cannon as well. Can he get this around on those sentries? That'll be huge.
Wow.
Great force fields from San. Nexus cannon goes down as well. And now he's going to be looking to clean up these units, but I think there's just too many for Curious. The Roach is working on those sentries. Can he push through, take down this third base from San? If he does, this could be huge, and it's GG from San. He knows it's going to go down. He taps out because he hasn't got anything behind it. All he was looking for is a massive economy to try and get ahead.
Yeah, it you know, as we said, it was a risk that he basically had to take. Was either you go economic or you try and build up some units, and he chose the economic path. The Curious identified it with that Overlord that was spotting the third base that was being attempted to be set up, and that meant that he was easily able to bring out some roaches, bring out some Lings, and despite some really good force fields there, San did have to tap out. So San will fall down to the lower bracket here, and he'll face off against the winner of I believe he'll, let me see, 1, 2, 3, yeah, he'll face off against the winner of Patreus and Ash, I believe.